I want to hear Ubisoft. I want to hear how Ubisoft. What's that? Let's see how Ubisoft rewrote Japanese history again. Let's see.
Hey, what's up guys, Rip here. So today's going to be another Ubisoft related video because every time you think Assassin's Creed
Wait. Let's move here. There.
Shadows has hit rock bottom, they fall even lower. Today we're looking at another round of controversies involving this game.
No
An art book
surprise.
has been leaked for
Wait.
this game, which includes a lot of new information about this game,
Oh,
including the presence of some very modern audience
oh,
approved
the fuck?
they them non-binary samurais. On
Okay,
top of
that's
that, the
fucking
art book
retarded.
also includes a
That's dumb.
bunch of historical inaccuracies that are pissing off a lot of gamers, but in particular, a lot of gamers
Japanese.
from Japan who
Yeah.
clearly have had enough of this game. So this is from the Ubisoft Japan account. This is the latest story trailer that was released on.
Not gonna lie. Why does he look Chinese? Why does he look Chinese? Why? I don't know why. He looks Chinese. He looks like an old Chinese person. Okay. I don't know why the old people look Chinese. Okay.
This main account, and you can see the like-dislike ratio. It is
Yeah. Oh
absolutely
my god.
abysmal.
How many
492 likes
likes?
versus
I want
5,600
50k.
dislikes. And you know what's even worse about
50k
this? It's not
likes
just the
and
ratio,
dislikes.
it's the apathy for this game. There's no interest in Japan. You have a
Oh yeah.
game that is focused on feudal Japan, and people from Japan are not even interested.
This
That's
is
crazy. Look at the
not.
views, 44,000 views in 12 days and only 400
Yeah,
likes.
that's so
That
fucking
is absolutely
a
pathetic.
flop.
So, what are we talking about today? So, we're talking about this
Okay.
art book that has been
It
leaked, and you can see
leaked.
Grums here sharing the link is in the reply. Maybe I'm not as cultured as you guys might think, but ain't
Hmm.
no way I'm clicking on this link. Like, what are we talking about here?
Oh,
People have pointed out
Ethan.
the
Oh.
related post has been taken
Oh.
down, but a lot of people
Oh. It's fucking ehentai.org. Oh.
got their screenshots and video recordings of this leaked art book, and there's a lot to unpack
Okay.
with this. So, first of
What?
all, one of the things shared is a video here where you
Making
can
of.
see there's some very interesting language about what's in this art book and
Hmm?
how they approach historical accuracy. So, they
Okay.
say down here, history has always been the playground of Assassin's Creed, and we
No.
take great pride in being accurate and true to the historical
No.
timeline and
No.
culture. For this game, we
That's a fucking
doubled,
lie.
if not tripled, the effort to make sure that
No.
we had thorough understanding of Japanese culture
Okay,
in this
that's
time
fucking
period.
bullshit.
Yes,
That's
ladies and
their.
gentlemen, they doubled and
Oh my
quadrupled.
god. Oh my god. I hate this. Why are they fucking lying? Like, past Assassin's Creed were not technically it was based on historical like land and like oh my god. Mainly the main characters are mostly fictional. Now they want to be historically accurate now. Why? Why now?
quadrupled and tripled down on their efforts to get this historically
Probably because they're fucking racist. Probably.
accurate, and we see the results. It's an absolute
Shit show.
mess. Now, here
Yeah,
we
it's
have
a
Madam
bullshit show.
Savvy with another thread. I believe this is 2 video appearances in a row for her because she's
How is that?
sharing some very useful insights on gaming related news here. This time, sharing a video of her recording
Assassin's Shadow art book leak featuring recruitable non-binary characters. You will be able to collect a bunch of misfits, some of which seems to pander to modern day language if they're trying to be historically accurate. There's That's not gonna be true. That's that's not gonna be true. Like, but let's let's be real. Like, there are probably no non-binary fucking people in the past, like in the like in the like samurai era. Let's
What is
just be
presented in
honest.
that art book, including something quite insane. So, Assassin's Creed Shadows art book leak features recruitable, non binary character. You'll be able to collect a
Ooh,
bunch of misfits, some of which seem to pander to modern day language. So, let's watch this clip from Savvy.
So,
oh
this is
jeez.
from the supposed art book leak. It is possible that it is fake, of course, but supposedly
Okay.
the Assassin's Creed Shadows art book has leaked. It, of course, gives off story, gives off some background, gives off characters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, every character is written very specifically, right? So, we have a he up here. We talk about Naue,
Omochis.
she, they use that. But this character is quite
Ibuki?
Uh
interesting
oh.
right here. Ibuki, free spirited, rebellious, yet joyful by nature, this
Hmm.
recruitable ally is a solitary ronin who comes from a clan of obedient samurai but now follows a unique moral compass.
Hmm?
They were well
Okay.
trained and excel in combat, but always felt constrained by the strict rules and stoicism of the.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, we got non
Then, okay. Strict and stoicism of what? I can't read that shit. Why? Why
binary.
are you fucking a samurai if you don't want to be fucking samurai? You don't want to be fucking don't want to fucking follow the fucking samurai code? Why? Just be a fucking warrior then.
They, them samurais. How stunning and brave. They really went for the
God.
full modern audience approach here, and it's just absolutely insane. Every time we learn something about this game, it just gets worse and worse. And I like how she pointed out, this could
Not
be.
gonna lie. Like, this company really is making people hate like the LGBTQ movement of like the awakening of all of them games. They're trying like if they're trying to make if their job is trying to make gamers hate like non-binary people, they're succeeding. But they're not. They're trying to say, oh, we're gonna pander to this, maybe we'll pander to them. So you might like this. And who not gonna lie. Not gonna fucking lie. They're trying to pander to Twitter people. And majority of Twitter people don't play even don't play games. Not gonna lie. Like I have a friend that doesn't use fucking Twitter. And he was like I don't know if he played Dragon Age, the Veilguard, but I know he was hyped about it. He probably used YouTube, so probably knew what's going on with that game. And I noticed the hype was gone. He hasn't talked about that game in months now. He was like the games that he was excited to play was like Warhammer, the new Warhammer, and Veilguard. Probably, probably he's disappointed in fucking Veilguard. He's probably super disappointed in that shit. Just saying, majority of the gamers doesn't care if the game is woke or not. They just want to fucking play the game. They don't want their game to have woke shit in it. Why would you put that shit in there?
Fake. I highly doubt it given the great detail of information that was shared. I mean, I don't know how someone would fake all of this, but the way Ubisoft has acted with this game, pretty much anything is believable. Like, I believe this. I believe they would try to make a
Oh
they
yeah,
them samurai in a feudal
yeah,
Japan setting. I believe that they would try to
yeah.
do something like this.
Probably.
And on top of that, you can see, as always, the Assassin's Creed fanboys are going nuts in the proposed community notes. Now,
Oh my
one of the
gosh.
great benefits of being a part of the system is being able to see proposed notes, not the ones that are
The
live
Davians
yet. They
and
still have to get
Reverse
enough upvotes.
Ronin
But these
and their
proposed notes almost always show
habits. Not
a bunch of gaslighting and misinformation. If you go to like a controversial
okay.
content creator or something, or a poster on X, and you go through the proposed notes, it's always seething, right? Like personal insults, nothing to do with clarifying misinformation or anything like that, or giving context. It's just people seething.
Yeah.
You can see a desperate reach here saying the they in the sentence refers to the Ronins and their habits, not Ibiku, which
What
no,
does that
that's not what's going on here.
what does it even mean? Refers to the Ronins and their fucking habits. What habits? What?
directly refer to this character as they. And every other character you look at, they use he or she. In this case, they specifically chose they, which tells
Yeah.
you they're going by this they, them pronouns. And again, for the setting, it's absolutely crazy to think they would try to pull something off like this. But there's a little more to the selection of characters in the art book that raise some eyebrows. This one might be a little bit
Junjiro.
convoluted, but please stay with me here because I think there's something possibly very odd going.
Ginger is an 8-year-old bundle of relentless positivity who lives in the crumbling old temple with his grandma, a guardian, sage monk Sorin. After he finds now in near death, they nurse her back to health, and Junjiro becomes the mascot of Naoi's and Yasuke's legend League of Allies. Despite losing his father, a member of the notorious Shinabu Shinab Shinak Shinab Shi Shinbakufu. To now sword, the boy finds a well of forgiveness and eventually sees her as a sister. His optimism and empathy help her turn her own hunger for vengeance into more beloved desire of justice.
Going on here. So we have this
Okay.
character Junjiro, who is
Yeah?
this kid right here. I believe they're on the cover of the game, and they're really, I guess, the only kid in this game, right? He's a 8-year-old bundle of relentless positivity. Now, why are we talking about this character? Well, it
I don't know.
appears that based on the lore, they're an orphan, and when they were
Okay.
orphaned, they got taken in at a temple by a monk who they now
Mhm.
live with. Now you go,
Yes.
Rev, who cares? What's the big deal about that? Well, as Savvy has pointed out multiple times, one of the expert consultants that Ubisoft used for the
Wait.
creation of
I'd like to remind everyone that there is an expert consultant on Japan for this game was a woman who focused writing about monks and their obsession. Oh, for young boys, she talks about transgenerational love. Oh, I read some of this. I read some of it, and it's a bit disturbing how she framed things. This person have very little to do with, if not at all, actual historical events, and of course, as a gender and sex focus intent of just a truth focus instead of just truth focused. Okay. Okay. Loving a little boy as a fucking old dude is okay because you're transgender. You're gay. It's okay.
this game and its characters is someone who has a very weird academic history.
Why?
So,
Why?
as she says, I'd like to remind everyone that their expert consultant on Japan for this game was a woman who focused writing about monks and their obsession for young boys. She talked
Why?
about
Oh, no.
transgenerational love. I read some of it, and it's a bit disturbing how she frames things. So yeah,
Why?
having that
Why?
mindset with this expert consultant, then you look at the character who
Uh,
is an orphaned young boy
yeah.
living with a monk, having that connection to her academic work in mind. Do you think it's
Probably.
just a coincidence?
Yeah.
Again, even if it's not intentional, it's another very weird look for Ubisoft.
Yeah,
It just
it's not
shows at the
intentional.
very
It's
least
probably.
they're pretty reckless with what they're doing, and maybe this person, this expert consultant, had some influence on this choice of
100%
character
it has.
and their lore for whatever academic interest they have in trying to
Oh, they
blur
have.
those things together,
They
and here's
100%
the
have.
result. So again, it might be a bit of a reach, it's a bit convoluted, but I think it's something
Yeah,
worth
there's
pointing
no
out
proof,
because
but
again,
still.
I believe Ubisoft could end up in a situation like this because that's just how they operate. It's very
Yeah.
sloppy. But let's continue on with another aspect of this that is causing a really
The anger
strong
of Japan
reaction
people is-
in Japan. So,
Sure.
as Francesco points out here, this might indeed anger Japanese people. It's
This
speculated
things
that it was actually Mori Ranmaru who seconded Oda Nobunaga and assisted him in committing seppuku. Seppuku, I'm not
Yeah,
Japanese, so my
suicide.
pronunciation's never going to be great. Not Yasuke. This is beyond ridiculous Ubisoft. So what they're referring to is this section right here that says the moment Oda Nobunaga commits
Oh.
seppuku, as the Honnoji temple burns down around him with Yasuke
They
serving
literally-
as his second. Now, why
They
is
literally
that so
changed it.
significant? Well, this
literally
role as
changed history.
serving as a second is a very important one culturally for Japan and especially in that era.
Okay, that's fun.
Okay, a second is trusted very greatly with this process, and it takes someone who's not only extremely trusted by the individual, it also requires
sus.
someone with great sword skill, aka a samurai.
Yeah.
Now, with this situation, Ubisoft, if this is
They literally
real,
changed.
is falsely claiming that Yasuke was the second for Oda Nobunaga, which is not true historically. On top of that, we also have Yasuke, who is not a samurai, taking on a role that would likely be required to be a samurai.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. You can see some reaction translated from Japanese
It's
who's
taking a
saying,
retainer.
quoting
Not even
what
like-
they said in the previous tweet and saying, this point is
don't have evidence
absolutely
of his-
correct.
we-
If
we
Nobunaga
are retainer.
had been beheaded by someone of lower rank, it would have been the same as being killed by an enemy and would have been an extremely great disgrace. So have that in mind. And also, we'll see this post right here, another one from the Japanese side of Twitter, saying to be a second is an unbelievably important role. During this ritual, the condemned person would cut across their own belly, then lean forward for the second to end their suffering with one cut. The swordsman needs to be a person of both great skill and trust. Trust so the person doing the deed will be trusted to not just walk off and let the condemned bleed out after cutting their own belly, but also be of
Finish them off.
sufficient skill to cut through cleanly enough and stopping to leave a small piece of skin to keep the head attached to the body. It is a dark, solemn ritual that is not something to be taken lightly. And this was in reference to the two posts we just saw adding additional context. So this entire thing is a very sensitive process, and to be a second, you have to be trusted and skilled. And in this case, we're making up history. We're saying
Yeah, they're just
Yasuke
making up
was the
history.
second. And despite their claims of wanting historical accuracy
Yeah.
in the same book, they don't seem to respect history at all. In fact, I believe what they're doing is appropriating Japanese
they're
history. They're
appropriating.
basically
100% appropriate. They're trying to insert their ideology into like to inject ideology to non like Japanese people to say this is what Japanese history is, and saying, oh, look, like there's a black person that is actually a samurai and like a really well-known like figure in like Japanese history. Why make a false character, like false narrative, when you have lots of fucking African history? Why take other people's culture and change it, or technically change their own history, and like literally spread it and say it's historically accurate, unless you have another like agenda, or they just like not doing their research
taking away pieces of Japanese history and
and
assigning
butchering
it
it.
to an African that came over to the
No, Viet. No.
country. It's very, very weird. Isn't this what cultural appropriation is? Isn't this like the stuff that people screech
Yeah.
about on like Blue Sky and in places like that? But they don't care here. You can just pick apart Japanese history to make your samurai, your attempt at a samurai here look cool. You know, you got to rewrite history to make him a samurai, and you have to make him the second here. It's absolute crap, and I understand why people would be upset with this.
Yeah.
But
If they made a fucking black character into a white person, they would be infuriated. They would go to Twitter or X and rant about it and say, "Oh, they're culturally appropriate fucking shit. Why? What? Why?"
let's continue. We also got some more information
Yeah,
about
what?
that wonderful Buddhist female warrior monk. We talked about this
Okay.
in the last Assassin's Creed Shadows video. They have to be trolling at this point, right? You see this character and you're
Fat
just like,
Buddhist
are
warrior
you
monk.
joking me? Because number one, the verbiage they use at the time would not include a female in the first place. But you can see Yaya here.
Yeah, if it's historically accurate, like females would be more on like the Mikos, right? Like the shrine maidens, and males are technically the monks. So this is literally historically inaccuracy because monks are mostly men, majority men, and like shrine maidens are females because they're called shrine maidens. This is not. If this did happen, I don't fucking know if it actually happens because monks are majority males and they need to shave their heads and really practice. I can't fucking celibacy. I like they need to remove all desires, all physical desires from their bodies. So having a female in their midst would majorly be contradictory to history. If she plays football, her name would be Lionel Messi. Oh my god, Lionel Messi.
They bring a formidable strength, both physical and spiritual, to any cause. As a dedicated Sohei, a Buddhist warrior monk, she became a fierce fighter. And as pointed out here, they have a monolithic life that is largely one of vegetarianism.
Yeah, they
Okay?
would be
So how would
probably
they,
skinny.
unless they ate out the whole village of all the
Oh
plants,
my god.
how did they end up a giant and strong warrior? It just makes no sense.
Oh my god. He ate all the other monks. They ate all the other monks. That's why they're so fucking big. They ate the whole. They ate the whole temple.
And again, we get another clarification translated from Japanese here saying they can't get anything right. Even the English is wrong. Buddhist monks are called monks and nuns are called nuns.
Yeah.
And this guy doesn't look Buddhist at all. He looks more like a Confucian Chinese model.
Yeah.
Ubisoft seems to see
I don't
all
know why. Majority, like lots of the fucking character models looks Chinese. I don't know why. They also made a model like looks like a old Chinese philosopher. Why? Why? That's like, is this that kind of fucking racist? That's horribly racist. Like they look, like lots of the models look Chinese. Not a lot, but there are tons of models that look Chinese.
Asians as the same. Now, that would make a lot of sense. That's why you have Chinese architecture existing
Yeah.
in this game. So I'm not too surprised to see people trying to claim that they see all Asian people as the same
Yeah.
because they've done it in the game and they got caught in 4K doing this multiple times with all these inaccuracies. But You see what happens here, right? All this
Oh my
misinformation is
god.
starting to actually
How's
impact how
this? That lots of people don't know that original Japanese were black. Black people, they were the Frost samurais and just they thought this
some
they
people
they taught the Japanese everything, and yes, Yasuke was the most legendary samurai Japan has ever seen. Okay, that's a blatant lie. Like, is like literally the most legendary samurai is Miyamoto Musashi, and like, why the original Japanese were not black? They're most likely Chinese. Technically Chinese, or like I forgot, like the northern Japanese people. Like they lived in snow, so they couldn't be black. They could, they would be pale because they lived in snow. The natives in Japan would been so pale because they lived northern and has snow,
think because
so
they don't know
they would
anything
be pale.
about Japanese history or they're just believing blindly what they see. Once again, this image has been floating around on social media, and whether the person posting this was serious or
Also, Japan really likes being pale, and this image would contradict everything about what Japanese believed in, like back then.
not, I have no idea, but people have been genuinely tricked by this image. It's an AI generated
No,
image
that's
because
AI.
obviously you have eyeballs. You can see it's AI generated. And it's trying to give this idea that there was a rich history
Why are they fucking floating on trees?
of black samurais in Japan for a
No,
very long time. And people are
maybe
looking at
dark skin samurais. You know what? Korean ancestors are actually Vietnamese. I could believe that. Yeah, because of like how like everyone like went, like how do you call it, like set colonized, like travel back then, because 100% know that like oh, or one of the first Filipinos was like from China or Taiwan. I think from Taiwan, basically. They came from China, went to Taiwan, went to Philippines, and intermingled with people, and went to like the Pacific Islands, but not like so. It's a history we got teach when young. I don't know if Korean were taught this. I would assume not, but by how particular. Yeah, not gonna lie, they have a superiority complex. I don't fucking know why. There's a big superiority complex.
this and they're believing it. They're actually believing it to the point you have users like this saying, lots of people don't know that original Japanese were black people. They
Nah,
were the first samurais and
no,
ninjas. They taught the Japanese everything, and yes,
no.
Yasuke was the most legendary samurai Japan has ever seen. And with the
Oh
way
my god,
things have
that's so
been
fucking
with
disgusting.
this game and some people trying to rewrite history, I don't know if this person's trolling or not. That's how
No,
bad things have gotten. I don't know if this person's being serious or not because
not like this is just a fact. Like African Americans believe that Asians are like a lot of the majority of the Asians are descendant by was descendant this like descended I don't fucking have to speak English. Like we're related by like closely related to Africa. But in fact, the closest you can search this up, like the closest relatives, ancestors, like the closest ancestors Africans have are actually Europeans. And like that's actually a fact that like we are far from like African like DNA. Like we have technically have and that kind of African DNA, but small. But Europeans has are the closest to African like Africans than Asian. Like uh, Europeans are closer related to Africans than Asians, and like literally they're closer from like the Pacific Islanders. Like they say the Pacific Islanders are fucking black. They're far from that. They're like I could believe they are Asian. They have eight more Asian genes than African genes. You know what? What's funny if Japanese are black people instead of ninjas, they would have come from the hood with guns. Okay. Yeah.
The whole dialogue here has gone so far off the rails, it makes posts like this seem actually believable. But on top of that, we're seeing some more gimmick accounts here. We talked about a different example in the last video about Assassin's Creed Shadows. You have another one here, Assassin's Creed Insider. Yeah, they're giving you the ultimate source for news, lore, and update on all things Assassin's Creed. Join our brotherhood to stay updated.
Okay.
Yeah, again, notice something. No blue check mark.
Yeah.
No ad revenue for this page. They are doing this for the love of the game. They are actively going out of their way to basically work for Ubisoft for free.
Why?
That is insane. But this person's not really having a good time recently, and I'll show why. So there was a big discussion about the temples. We talked about that briefly. Some people are very upset about the fact that in the game you can destroy Japanese temples. And some people respond by saying, well, you control the character. But a lot of people also are saying it's just offensive to have it as an option. Where you fall on that, I'm not sure. But there's a discussion about that, and this gimmick account
if it's
for
like,
the game says, I
if
respect
it's like breakable like environment, I don't really care. It's breakable environments.
Japan, but their society's racism and arrogance are undeniable. They act like being Japanese is some exclusive status, while ignoring the uglier part.
Like, yeah, being Japanese is exclusive to Japanese people. Like, you cannot just give a white person like the rights to be Japanese. That's how race works. Like, you cannot just be Japanese because you want to be Japanese. It's specifically exclusive to Japanese people to be Japanese.
Parts of their history. The outrage over a black samurai, despite historical proof, just shows
there's no historical proof. He was a retainer, and he was sent back to India after Nobunaga died. Because he was like he was from Africa, sent to India, then sent to Japan. When Nobunaga died, he was sent back to India because they thought he was Indian. And I don't know if that's true, but that's what I read. But 100% he was not a samurai because he was sent back to India.
Fragile superiority complex.
People say that the one that disagree are just too fragile, while they are the one who's defended anti-history. Yeah, they're literally they have fucking blinders on. Like, they cannot see what they're doing wrong. Like, if you just read an actual book about it, you would literally know the history or the truth about the situation, just read a book, man, and you will know everything. Don't read Twitter because that shit is fucking batshit crazy. Twitter is batshit crazy and have a lot of misinformation.
Thomas Lockley, is that you? Are you on your burner account here, Thomas Lockley? Historical proof of uh, Yasuke being a samurai. Like, please, you're not convincing anyone with that garbage. But you can see, the least racist, anti-racist person
Oh
you'll
my
ever see,
god,
right? Just
racist,
absolutely
anti-racist.
attacking Japanese culture and Japanese people in general
Yeah,
with these outrageous claims about their terrible, awful history and
yeah.
their
He's being anti-racist by being racist. Super. Okay,
fragile
buddy.
superiority complex. Like, my god. But it gets worse. So, responding to this user who said Yasuke wasn't a samurai, you idiot, it's been debunked, they responded with this:
Oh,
shut the F up, you racist little bitch.
oh
All
my
you do
god.
is jay off to your South Korean superiority complex while screeching like a useless,
Oh my
pathetic
god.
worm. Yasuke's history
Oh
isn't
my
for
god.
your dumbass to rewrite
Oh my
just
god.
because your fragile ego can't.
Oh my god. It's not being rewritten, dude. Buddy. It's not being rewritten. You're the one who's rewriting it. Like, what the fuck? To be honest, Facebook in Vietnam is just as bad as Twitter. Not, not even over exaggerating. Yeah. Is it really like rich? Like, I don't really see like any shadow Twitter because like mostly follow artists, VTubers, and stuff. If I do like find drama on Twitter, I look it up. I don't actually like see it. So also my Facebook is probably not the best representation because it's just like sharing memes to my friends. So it's most likely like cringe fucking memes. So I don't know about like our Facebook culture, but like Mitch, if it's that if that is true, like that's fucking crazy. Literally a group of reactionary on Facebook with 2.4 million members. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that lots of fucking people are like I don't know why. I don't know why that happens though, like Mitch. Reactionary content on Facebook is kinda huge too. I don't know why. It's huge in YouTube. Facebook though. I, I sometimes watch it, but bitch, some of the reactionary content are just like, okay, a tiny picture of a person and like right here, a tiny picture of like a person in the corner reacting, not speaking, and just watching a fucking clip of a movie.
Handle it. First of all, projection, the whole thing, projection, and another crash out from one of these accounts who's trying so desperately to prop up this game and its message. And look at the lengths you have to go, the mental
Yeah.
gymnastics and the cope and the anger you have to go to try to justify your position and Ubisoft's continued historical inaccuracies. It really just speaks for itself at this point. Now, I want to end with one more thing here from Craig, who is sharing once again some information he has from his retail insider who runs 800 plus stores, right? He has shown these predictions from this insider multiple times before, especially in the last year or so, and they've always turned out to
Oh
be
my
very
god.
accurate. So I take
Oh
this
my
definitely with
god.
some trust here.
Oh my god. Pre-orders 167. Pre-orders 36 cancelled. PS5 2,260 pre-orders. 300 cancelled. 520. Oh my god, that's lots of fucking pre-cancels. Pre-cancels. It's so funny, but it's today. And there's a picture of Cambodian Cambodia Facebook that shows They gonna take over us, Laos, and share 1/3 of its land with Thailand and Vietnam. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. So it's like the fucking like wait, what the fuck was that number? Like Area 51? Area 51? The Area 51 meme that is it? I don't know fucking number, like the fucking like the military base that they were gonna raid in America, and it's like we're gonna raid this. They made a Facebook group to raid the fucking military base. Oh yeah, 100%. If the internet was a thing back then, yeah, that would be my bro Hitler's fucking shit. He would do that. God, he would actually fucking do that.
And here's some of the numbers. First of all, before we get to Shadows, Avowed, 167 pre-orders, 36 are canceled.
Oh my god.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't this game come out in less than 2 weeks?
Oh yeah.
They are
They're-
cooked.
They're cooked.
They are cooked. But anyways,
There are
AC
lots
Shadows,
of
right?
cancels.
Xbox One,
Pre-cancels.
549 pre-orders, 21 are canceled. PS5, 2,200 pre-orders, 363 are canceled. So a total of about 2,800.
That's Stalin would keep telling Hitler saying. Oh my god, that's actually fucking. Oh my god. That would be fucking hilarious. Oh my god. People would be fucking beefing with. Like, that would be like. Oh my god. It's like Donald Trump and fucking Elon Musk. It would be Donald Trump and fucking Elon Musk and fucking Twitter. Just fucking chatting it up.
pre-orders and about 400 of them are canceled. These numbers show that, yeah, there's interest. Like I've always said, I think this game is going to sell a good number of copies. It's not like Shadows is going to come out and get Concord numbers. No, it's going to be something similar
fucking
to,
Assassin's
I would
Creed, so
imagine,
it would-
Veilguard, right? They're going to sell.
They would sell a lot, but not a lot. But they will sell because it's Assassin's Creed, and like people who are not mentally ill and fucking on Twitter will probably buy it.
A good volume of copies. In fact, I think they'll sell more than Veilguard, but it's not going to be enough for their expectations. That's my opinion. I think they've shot themselves in the foot so much and alienated so many gamers that they aren't going to reach their probably very high internal expectations for this game. The amount of copies they're probably predicting to sell is going to be in the many millions, and I don't think they're going to get there. I think they're going to sell maybe 2-3 million, or maybe more. I don't know. But I don't think they're going to reach their expectations. That's all we can really say for now. And looking at these numbers, it doesn't inspire a ton of confidence, and also a very large volume of cancellations too. But as pointed out here as well, you look at Steam, they just cracked the top 75 pre-orders. Wow, I'm sure Ubisoft didn't expect to outsell Tales of the Shire.
Oh God.
Wow, that's a
That's
world
fucking
beater
sad.
right there. Yeah, they're only 2 positions behind
75.
Tales of the Shire, which is another dumpster fire modern audience piece of slop.
My God.
But that's a conversation
For
for another
fucking
day.
AAA game to be in the fucking 75 position in the top pre-orders is fucking sad. Let me just see. Ubisoft try reverse Uno card using cancellation as a boost to their selling Unos like if it's on Steam, they might sell a lot, and they probably will return it instantly. Literally, because if you pre-order it, Steam, you can return it in like after 2 hours of playing. If like, which a lot of people would probably try to play it for content, legitimately, and fucking return it. And that's probably gonna happen. People will play it like normal, like a lot of people will try to watch it first. For if like content creators try to play it, people will watch it, and if they like it, they will buy it. But it will legitimately it will sell to content creators because like it's fucking content to fucking play a fucking shit game. But for a normal person, that it probably won't sell if they're fucking like the content creator they fucking like are watching says it's not worth it. They probably won't buy it. That's probably it. Majority of the sales would be on content creators or like people who don't fucking use Twitter.
Okay. But anyways, yeah, that is the absolute state of Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ubisoft. They are doing everything in their power day after day to make this game completely unlikable. And we see the art book, the alleged leaked art book here, just showing further proof they don't respect Japanese history, Japanese culture, or gamers, really. And also, again, it's like every time we discover something new about this game, it causes controversy. It makes them look bad. And that's a really insane thing to do. Ubisoft is really just licking their wounds at this point and hoping for the best, and we'll have to see what happens when this releases in about a month and a half. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
I would want to see the bitch.
Hey, what's up, guys? Up here.
I think that's the bitch. Assassin's Creed Shadow would probably flop, but not as hard as Concord or like Veilguard probably.